Yeah, this is a good way to get... Oh, wow, look at that. We already have 60 levels. That was fast. Alright, snipe. 3. What else, chat? We have infinite quiver, cubism. Piercing and power were the big ones. Or, did I say piercing? I meant snipe. I guess all that leaves is infinite quiver. Alright, how much will you cost? As a second anvil use. 84 levels! I guess we'll just use a bunch of these. Uh-oh. Oh! Almost not enough. That's pretty good. Oh, wait. We don't have piercing. Ah. Alright, we'll add another anvil use later for that. Alright, so this is officially better than this now. But it needs piercing still. So we still have one more enchant to put on it, at least. We could put 2. And now that I think about it, we might as well put 2. But we also need to give Feather Falling and Depth Strider to our Mastiff. So let's look into Depth Strider. And we also need to get these with Growth 5. Alright, let's go kill some Svens. Boom. So now, all we need is the chest plate. That's pretty freaking good, dude. And if we look in here, I've already purchased the True Protection book. So we just need to craft the chest plate, get 60 levels, give it Growth 5 and Thorns, and then throw on the book, and we're done. Then we have full Mastiff. That's really good. Ah, that's what we needed to do. We need to finish the magma bow. That's right. So let's look into piercing. Oh, we don't have the recipe, dude. Oh, that's annoying. That's a lot of cactus, but we need it. And I'm not really all that excited about... Incident. Hello. How is it going?
2,300 people just went like, I thought that was me. I would say just come to creators if I call you. Because usually I want to talk. but then you just like, oh, Bernie, I guess that's done.
Sorry, that was enchanting.
Oh my god.
I'm enchanting
I swear
a bow.
to God, dude. I swear to God. Someday I'm gonna take that bottle and break it.
Why does this noise trigger you? I don't get it. It's just a sports bottle noise.
Oh my god. It's not the noise that triggers me. It's like how often you do it.
I haven't taken a sip from that like the whole time we were calling. What do you mean?
All I heard before, the moment you started doing that was... Alright, you know what? Let two can play this game.
I'm doing revs to get XP, by the way, chat. I'm going to enchant another book with Impaling. And then that's going to be the second anvil use on the magma bow. And then we're set to go. Then we can trash the machine gun bow. Then I guess it's, at that point, it's just the case of getting magma cream. Alright, here we go, chat. This is the second anvil use on the bow. And then we're done. This is every enchant we need. Oh, that is beautiful. Nice. That is pretty good. Well, it's been a good run, machine gun bow, but you are retired. So now, that leaves us with the magma bow. Now time to get some ammo. Alright, so now, chat, it's time for the damage test. Bob Ross, thank you for the fly. Saying that. 15,000 damage in a bow shot. Not bad.
It's comeback virus.
Right. It is optional. That was No! That's not a bad amount of damage for a bow. I mean, I could at least... damage. I can hold my own in a dragon fight now, I bet. Magma or Runons, it depends what you're doing. If you're doing a dragon, Runons. If you're doing anything other than a dragon, then magma. Oh, you know, that reminds me. We are going to need a Runon's bell again for dragons. Oh, I only need 800 more bones to unlock the recipe for Runons. Oh yeah, chat, you want to hear a funny story about me being stupid? Of course you do. Anyways, you guys might know that I spent a stupid amount on my PC when I got it back in like April mainly because about, I would say 800 bucks of it was paid for by Cooler Master. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make the best PC ever. It'll cost about the same as what I was planning, but I'll just get really, really good parts. So I tried going SLI 2080 Ti like an idiot, but I didn't know why it was dumb at the time. So I built my PC. About 6-7 months go by. Boom. The 30 series of cards come out, and the 3070, which costs half as much, is just as powerful as a 2080 Ti. So that's a big oof. Not only was I one of the people who got a 2080, but I got 2 of them. So I wasted a very substantial amount of money on something I did not need. That's not where it ends. So for months, I was experiencing problems with my graphics card, right? I would have this weird problem where my monitors would continuously turn off, turn on again, and it would do that for like a second. So screen would be off for 1 second, and then it would turn on for another second, off for 1 second, on for another second. It would do that for like 3 minutes. And while it was doing that, my input would not work. My mouse, my keyboard, everything would be, it would be very laggy and unusable. And then sometimes, randomly throughout just streaming or playing a game, all open applications that use graphics will die, including the game, including Streamlabs OBS. I'd lose my recording, and then Windows Nightlight would turn off as well, which is really weird, and I use that to save my eyes. So my screen would be very bright blue, and it would blind me. And it would happen randomly. There's no predicting it. And I reinstalled drivers. I was like, what the hell is going on? NVIDIA software's crap. I contacted support so many times. And then the problem slowly faded away after several months.
Okay.
And then 2 weeks ago, the problem came back. Except this time, something worse would happen. The computer would, again, at random times, there was no predicting it. Like, even at the desktop, if I was in games, if I wasn't in games, if I was watching a YouTube video, if I wasn't, just out of nowhere, it would just be like, the screen would go black. You could still hear the software going on. So, like, nothing would crash. Everything would still be open, but the monitors themselves would turn off. There'd be no signal. And then the fans in my computer would rev up to 100%. They go, like, and you could hear it audibly from, like, all the way where I'm sitting. Nothing would fix the problem. I would be forced to turn off the computer. And I see all of you in the chat saying, Pat, I do not care. Anyway. So that would happen, again, at random times. And I was fed up with it. I was done. So, you know, I get in a call with Fezzi and Mike. Now, Mike went to the same school I did. We went to a trade school half of our school day for junior and senior year. It was really good. It was one of the best experiences I've ever been through. It was called C-Tech. I went for programming. He went for computer repair stuff. So I asked him, I'm like, what could be causing this? And he's like, well, it happens sometimes from when the thermal paste inside the graphics card isn't installed properly, so you gotta manually replace. I'm like, well, that's no good. I don't want to do that because I'd void my warranty. And then I'm like, maybe it's just a software problem with SLI. Maybe I should just take out a card and then call it a day. And he's like, you could try that. So then I open up the computer and I notice, with a new perspective, that there's something stupid I did that I did not know was a problem back then. So the power connector, well, first of all, the 2080 Ti is a power hungry card. It sucks up 2 8-pin connectors, right? To get its power. And I was like, you know what? Oh, that's back when I was building the PC like 7 months ago. I was like, hey, I have a whole lot of power cables that came in my power supply. It would, you know, plug into the power supply, and it would have 2 8-pin connectors daisy chained together. And I was like, you know what? It would only make sense. It's probably made for this purpose. I plug in the one cable into the power supply and then split it in 2. And then, you know, because it's daisy chained, and just plug it into the graphics card and call it a day. Turns out that's not how power cables work. So what happened was both of my graphics cards were being starved for power, because you're not supposed to plug in both of the daisy chained things into a graphics card. It's meant more for like little PCI cards, like Wi-Fi cards or something. What I did is I took out one of the cards, I plugged in both power cables that were daisy chained, except I didn't use the daisy chain part. Just plugged in 2 power cables into one card. And then just like that, all my problems went away. My performance in games got better because my cards weren't power starved. And there was probably a little bit of influence from SLI's software being buggy. But yeah, I'm going to sell that other 2080 Ti and I'm only going to use the one because it's more than enough. Like, funny enough, one card with the proper amount of electricity is way more powerful than two cards starved for power. Who would have known? So yeah, I feel dumb. I mean, Mike didn't directly tell me about that, but like our conversation got me in that mindset to the point where I'm thinking about the power supply and what could be wrong. And I'm like, would two 8 pins and daisy chain give enough power to a 2080 Ti? And he's like, no. So the fact that my computer worked at all for all this time and I was able to produce content on it is kind of a miracle.
Dude, it's so weird how ThirtyVirus didn't get 30 series. You know?
Why is my speed is... Thank you for another 2, and they said Funkos fish. I don't know what that means, but thank you. The Lego Riverman. How much money for you to drop an F-bomb? So here's the thing. I've already said this a while ago, and I'm gonna stick with my so I thought, you know, yeah, I don't want to say the F word, therefore I'm going to set an unrealistic goal. And the rules is one person has to donate $1,000 and then I'll do it. If they ask, they have to ask. If they just do it and they don't know about the meme, I ain't gonna do it. They need to ask and then it will finally happen. But that's such an unrealistic goal that it is never happening. And that was the point. I don't it's not happening. It's not going to happen. I guarantee it's not going to happen.
Is it a one-time donation or collectively?
One time.
Okay.
Or one stream. You know, I limit it to one stream. So, like, if someone donates over the course of a whole stream and it adds up to that much and they ask, sure.
At $990, you end the stream.
They'd be so mad. Or no, you know what would probably happen in that scenario? They would donate the last $20 as I'm in my outro screen, and then it's gonna be like, and then it ends. Oh, if you're wondering why I'm harvesting wheat, it's because I need the farming sack. Is the $1,000 thing over one stream? No, it is one person, not a collective. It would have to be one person. I made the rules difficult on purpose because I don't expect anyone to ever do it. Alright, chat, so we still need to get another stack of enchanted hay bales, but then we're all set to go. Then I can get rid of all the wheat and then replace it with potatoes, and then we'll get our hot potato books going. But for now, let's fix the farm, because there are holes. So like,
ThirtyVirus is and Brandon Calabrese, they both sound so similar.
Yes.
Like, I almost feel like it's the same person.
I don't know if you're saying that ironically or you're saying that there is no YouTube persona and it's just me. I'm not sure. There's many levels to this discussion right now.
No,
oh, and Lego City, man. Oh.
When you're not streaming, you're just more depressed. That's what I've noticed.
I don't know about,
like,
I don't know about
I'm
depressed.
just gonna make nachos. And then you just leave to get nachos.
I haven't made nachos in at least 3 weeks, and I'm so sad.
Yeah, Brandon doesn't like guacamole because he doesn't like the texture.
Alright, so we're gonna be really, really, really careful because this Spider Slayer is not something to be messed with. You know what? That actually makes sense that I would do Spider Slayer as soon as I upgrade my bow. We gotta be constantly vigilant, chat. If we look away for even a second, the broodmother can spawn. I'm considering stopping doing Slayer just so I could focus always having arrows on target for the remainder of this segment. Because getting spider talismans not easy with this many people up here. I mean, assuming that most of them are chill, we should only have to compete with like 2 or 3 other people, which I would say is pretty normal.